60 Minutes advises that some scenes in the following story could disturb some viewers.
Everyone has an opinion. Mamdouh Habib is a dangerous terrorist who should have been left to rot in jail. Or he's an innocent man persecuted because he was in the wrong place at the wrong time. It's one or the other, simple as that, if you believe the propaganda. But so far you've not seen this mysterious Mr Habib, not heard a single word from him. Now, after more than 3 years in prison, his story of terrorism and torture. And I have to say, some of his allegations are shocking, quite explosive. For the first time, your chance to judge Mamdouh Habib for yourself.
Got you. Got it. I got it. I got it.
Come on, please.
Continue. I got
Yeah, go on.
If we're to believe what we've been told about Mamdouh Habib, then this is one very dangerous and evil man. Well, George W. Bush said you were the worst of the worst.
Well, George Bush, he can say whatever he want to say. George Bush, he say he never touched nobody. George Bush, he a liar. If I'm the worst, why he release me? If I done anything to him, why I'm here now? Why not charging me?
Since his release, Habib, as you'd expect, has been intent on making up lost time with his wife Maha and their 4 kids. For more than 3 years, Mamdouh Habib says his world was a torture chamber, where he suffered repeated physical abuse and mental torment, including being told his family had been killed.
I wanna die. I wanna go with him. I wanna go with my kids, my wife. You killed him. I'm not interested to live anymore.
His claims are shocking, but then so are the allegations against him. Have you ever supported a holy war against the West? Do you admire Osama bin Laden? Are you a terrorist? The case against Mamdouh Habib later, but it is a fact that for 3.5 years Habib was jailed without a single charge. In all that time, the Americans didn't produce the evidence to convict him. Worse still, if you believe Habib, an Australian citizen for 20 years, he suffered repeated torture, including threats of sexual assault.
They have a dog. They make me naked. Then they bring the dog, and they say this dog they do sexual with a human.
So they were telling you that they had trained this dog to sexually assault human beings?
Yes.
Is that right?
And the dog was behind me all the time, but it doesn't do anything to me, just to scare me.
In the weeks after the September 11 attacks, Pakistan was pressured by America to turn over its suspected terrorists and round up al-Qaeda operatives fleeing Afghanistan. This is how events unfolded. Sometime between the 2nd and 5th of October 2001, Mamdouh Habib was travelling on a bus in Pakistan. He claims he'd gone there looking for work and for schools for his children as he was thinking of leaving Australia. Habib was apprehended, along with 2 Germans suspected of links to al-Qaeda. Habib says a hood was placed over his head and he was taken in for interrogation, where the torture began almost immediately.
They take me in like a jail, and they have a roll, concrete roll. They have a wire inside, and lift me up and put me on the top of it. And they put electric shock on it, and they make me run on it. They ask me to say something.
Did they ask you if you were a member of al-Qaeda?
They never ask me Qaeda or anything like this. They say you do blowing up a council, Egyptian council in Pakistan.
Did you?
I never heard this. I never know if being Egyptian council is being blown up.
Habib says he was held in Pakistan for 3 weeks. Tell me if you recognise that man. Twice, he says, he was visited by an Australian government official.
He looks like this guy.
Who witnessed his interrogation and later, at a military airport, stood by and did nothing while he was physically abused.
100% they say me tortured in an airport.
How were you tortured?
They beating me, about 15 of the guys, the American guys, and about 4 Pakistani. They have guns. And when they strip me, I don't know, they put something in my bottom. I don't know what it is. And they put me in a piece. And they tied me up. And they make photograph for me in front of him. And they make video.
Did this Australian beat you at all?
No, Australian, he was watching me when I've been beaten.
Habib claims he was flown from Pakistan to Egypt, possibly in this covert CIA plane. Former CIA agents and other sources say Egypt is a country used by America to do its dirty work, softening up suspected terrorists with hardline brutality.
I was there for 6 months. I haven't not even one rest one day from touching.
And how did they torture you?
It's electric shock, beating, drugs.
Did you meet any Australian officials in Egypt?
I believe was one Australian guy, and he was talking with the American guy. They tell him about the question they're gonna ask me for and what he want.
Who was he?
I have no idea, but if I see him, I will know him.
You're sure again that this was an Australian?
Oh, positive.
Habib says under torture, he made a series of admissions. What did you confess to?
I confessed about they tell me you train anybody to hijack fly. And I did. I said yes.
Just for my clarification, they asked you, did you train anyone to hijack the planes that flew into the World Trade Center?
They said, did you train him? I say yes. The other one, he asked me, did you do see chemical in Afghanistan? I say yes. I even move it. And they asked me, I believe one, they say, you've been fighting in Chechnya. I say yes.
What part of your confessions were true?
Have nothing true. I make him happy. I want to save myself.
This is obviously hard going for Habib. He shows me how he was handcuffed and shackled, the scars, he says, are cigarette burns and bruises that won't go away. But it's what we can't see that distresses him most. When the Egyptians were done with him, Habib claims he was told he was going home to Australia. It was a lie. For the next 2.5 years, home would be Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. What was the worst thing that happened to you at Guantanamo Bay?
They use every possible to make me crazy. They put me in isolation all the time. I never see the sun. I never have shower like a human being. I never have soap. I never have cup to drink. I never treated like a human being.
There have been reports of a prostitute wiping a tampon on you.
Yes.
Did that happen?
She is it's very rude actually. She put her hand in a private, she take stuff with blood and she threw it in my face.
At his lowest, he turned to fellow Australian detainee David Hicks.
I told him if you go home and you not find me in Australia, that means I get killed. And let my family know what happened to me. And he said, no worries, I will. And that's it. That's the last time I saw him.
Do you believe that there are terrorists in Guantanamo Bay?
If I'm innocent and they do all this to me, I will know. But what I believe, maybe what they did to me, they do to David Hicks.
If he is a terrorist, if his associations with Al-Qaeda are proven, does he deserve the treatment he's getting?
No one should be treated in the way people are treating Cuba. The American, how they're treating people, they are terrorists. Not the people have like us. They have no humanity.
Habib maintains he is the victim of an outrageous miscarriage of justice, but his association with extreme elements of the Islamic community in Australia and America put him on ASIO's radar long before September 11. Of particular concern was his support for these two men, Ibrahim El-Ghabrani and blind cleric Sheikh Omar Abdelrahman, both convicted of conspiring to carry out a campaign of terror attacks in New York, and both linked to the bombing of the World Trade Center in 1993. That same year, El-Ghabrani had telephone and fax contact with Habib. Habib also gave public support to the jailed cleric, but insists he was only trying to pressure the authorities to treat Rahman's diabetes. This is a man, a convicted terrorist now, who applauded the September 11 attacks, who said, "Kill the enemies of God." This is a man that you supported.
I didn't support anybody for what he did. I said I supported deeply for his sickness, that's all.
Do you or have you ever supported a jihad, a holy war, against the West?
My religion doesn't. The way I believe doesn't harm nobody.
Do you think that there is any justification in killing in the name of Allah?
I don't believe in that, no.
Do you admire Osama bin Laden?
What I know he's a normal man. That's what I believe before September 11. But after September 11, I'm not very happy with what he done.
What do you think of him now?
If he done that, what they said he done, he done crime.
Another key allegation against Habib is that he knew about September 11 before it happened. Reports claim ASIO phone taps recorded Mamdouh telling his wife Maha something big was about to happen in New York. He says there's a simple explanation. He called from Pakistan after the attack, asking about the news.
My phone, at home, it's been a trace for over 2 years. How come I tell my wife, hey, they have attack in the United States? Well, this think I'm a stupid terrorist?
Can you categorically say that your husband didn't warn you that something big was going to happen?
Of course not.
In New York?
Of course not. How?
It didn't happen.
No, it didn't happen.
Ma'am, can you get up?
Why were you in Pakistan in July 2001?
I was looking for school, college, and school for my kids, and business for me and my life. I try to get away from what I have here.
Why?
Well, I've been followed from the ASU. I've been mistreated by, and I want to go away for a couple of years to make some money and come back.
What is of grave concern is that you were also in Afghanistan.
Well,
weren't you?
this question, I will answer this question for you in fully in a courthouse, front of the judge.
What were you doing there?
I can answer this question. I'll ask you. I answer this question, I'm telling you, in fully, front of the judge.
How could you afford to travel to this region so many times? Who was paying for it?
I'll leave this one in the court as well.
Habib argues he wants his day in court to get his passport back and clear his name. His reason for being in Afghanistan, he says, goes to the heart of his defence, and he doesn't want to tip off his accusers. But the latest counter from government sources is the only reason Habib was let go was to protect undercover operatives still in the region, whose identities would have been exposed by a trial. You would rather sit here and let people think you're a terrorist than tell me what you were doing in Afghanistan?
I believe people to thinking is they shouldn't think I'm a terrorist. Because if I'm a terrorist, I will be still in Cuba.
Did you ever visit or train at an Al-Qaeda camp in
Never.
Afghanistan?
Never. Never, ever. I'm alive.
So if you weren't at an Al-Qaeda training camp, what were you doing there?
I never been in Qaeda camp.
How do you explain the witness accounts that place you in an Al-Qaeda training camp in Afghanistan at the time of the September 11 attacks?
Well, this is in a court. The judge is going to be approved between me and this witness if they have.
Some of the allegations against you are that you trained with Al-Qaeda.
I told you I never trained with any camp.
You had prior knowledge of September 11.
I have no knowledge about anything.
You trained hijackers in martial arts.
This is what I'm gonna say. I don't know how to say it, but this is a lie, full of lie.
You planned to hijack a plane yourself.
This is a full of lie, and this is not true.
You stayed in Al-Qaeda safe houses.
This is full of lie, and
You moved chemicals in Afghanistan for Al-Qaeda.
that's lie. That's not true.
So when you sit here and you look at me,
Yes,
you are telling me the truth?
I'm telling you everything I said is true. Everything I said is true.
On January the 28th, 2005, Mamdouh Habib landed on Australian soil. What was that moment like?
I feel it now, actually. I don't know. It's not easy to describe. It's incredible. You know, the way I was in the plane. So as soon as he walked in, and I looked, oh my God, he went like this, and I can see it now. And we started, hugging and talking. It was a beautiful moment, to be honest. And I think it's a big gift from God that has returned my husband back to his family.
Hey, Dad. Does it taste good? Beautiful.
Habib is back in the care of his
Very
family.
good.
Winning the trust of the wider community may take a lot longer.
Good?
People say he's either mad or he's bad, that he's crazy or he's a terrorist.
He's none of these. He's the best. He's crazy about his kids, his family, yes. And I don't call this a terrorist if you care about your family. He's not. He's a normal, wonderful person who cares for his family and his kids. Is that a crime?
Tonight, Mamdouh Habib is a free man who remains under suspicion. If he's innocent, he's the victim of an appalling injustice. If he's not, he's a terrorist walking our streets. Despite the fact he was released without charge, behind the scenes, intelligence sources maintain he is a dangerous man. You've heard of the saying, where there's smoke, there's fire. You understand that saying?
Well, yes.
Do you accept that that's how many people judge you?
Well, this.
That they can't believe that you have been treated in this way unless you have done something wrong, unless there was something suspicious about you?
Well, something special about me is not true, but I've been through a lot. I've been harmed for no reason. I'm innocent.
Hello, I'm Tom Steinfort. Thanks for watching 60 Minutes Australia. Subscribe to our channel now for brand new stories and exclusive clips every week. And don't miss out on our extra minutes segments and full episodes of 60 Minutes on 9now.com.au, as well as the 9Now app.